Let's get a timer set up. 3 minutes. For the first topic, I want to talk about the order tokens, the whole order-driven system, how it works. And I think it's so freaking sweet. What do you think, Ryan?
Order tokens as in what?
The whole order token system. You place these guys down.
Yes.
That
definitely is very good.
No, I can't bring up the soapbox yet.
I
could. I don't want to.
But maybe you actually wait. All right, so we're all three in agreement of being so sweet. So, like I said, how it works: you get these little tokens, you place down on planets, so you know where you're going to act, so that your opponents know where you're going to act, but they don't know what you're going to do.
They have ideas sometimes.
Oh yeah, you can kind of get an idea when I basically got a massive army sitting here, and I put a token down on this planet. Obviously, you're going to assume it's probably going to attack.
Yeah, could be something about you can fake that action though, and deploy something somewhere else.
Because
strategy.
I love the strategic aspects of it. Are one, you can screw your opponent over. That's everything. Anything that can screw your opponent over is worth it and is downright freaking awesome.
I agree.
Yep.
And two, you can screw yourself over. Not only the fact that if you do something stupid where you put the wrong token down,
that prevents you from making too many careless mistakes. Otherwise, you're going to lose. You can't just go on blind luck like in dice rolling, and do something stupid and magically come out of it unscathed.
And you got to think backwards because the first order token you put down on the planet is going to be the last one that planet to be activated.
That's caused me some problems.
Oh,
yeah, caused all of us some problems.
Is that the right word you were saying?
For this podcast, it is. So what do you guys have anything else you want to add about them?
I think it builds a much better strategy into the game. It gives you 3 different options, and there's special tokens where if you get the research, special lab like I do. Each of us has something special to build.
Get to upgrade modules, give you even more powerful actions.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll talk about the gold tokens.
Yeah.
Should we talk about?
I don't care if you want to talk about.
Go talk about.
We're talking about.
Okay, what do you guys want to say? I mean, you guys use them more than I do. I tend to forget. I don't
you
do
keep
this too
forgetting
often.
about them because
I know.
they could really help you.
Oh,
they've helped
very
us.
Much so.
Like special ones are in gold. Unfortunately, they're in the smaller at the bottom of each one.
Where you can do extra.
Oh, that helps too.
Second camera, it helps.
You can do extra things when you mobilize, build, and research.
Like, so,
for each of those things, you can.
It gives you a couple extra things.
Yeah, it gives you more options.
It does the same basic thing like mobilize is where you move or attack or both. And in this case, you can draw a couple extra, 2 extra combat cards and 1+1 to attack in each skirmish in that battle.
We got 30 seconds left in this thing, so I want to say I think this is Starcraft. Do you agree?
Well, you can't go based on just this whole thing, Starcraft.
But true, because this is more large scale than Starcraft.
Well, I'm just saying it's based on our first thing we're saying, though. We should go through
this
everything.
aspect is Starcraft.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because when you play a game of Starcraft, most of the map is hidden, but you can get a general idea of where the person's acting at. Like they have a base here. They're obviously building there. They see a scout go over here. They're probably going to mobilize there. You see a scout come to your base. Probably going to mobilize in your direction.
Yeah.
So you get an idea that they're probably going to act in these locations soon, but you don't know exactly what they're going to do, or you don't know what they're going to be building and things like that. So, do you agree with that?
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
All right, so Ryan?
I didn't realize we were going with each individual topic. I thought we were going to go with the whole overview, but that's good.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Each individual topic I want to say is a StarCraft or not. So we're all right, go ahead, Ryan. Dive into your choice.
Okay, one thing I hate about the game
already, but what's that?
is the fact about your defense. When someone's coming to attack you, and you're there defending a spot.
So you don't like the defense stuff?
I don't like the defense to a degree.
What's too weak? You're saying like
it's too weak.
Okay.
It's too weak. Your defense is too weak
what
because.
Do you think about, so let's just name out the topic first. So defense is too weak. You have weak defenders.
You know what? They are weak, but that's how things are. I'm going back with the so sweet because you know what? This game's forcing you to attack. It's forcing you to
So sweet.
Yes.
I'm agreeing with that. So sweet. So I think aggressiveness is good. So okay, go back.
Okay. Well, I can tell who's going to be against you here. No. Well.
No, I mean.
One thing I want to explain is, the defense. I'd like to see about some countermeasures because usually when a person is attacking you and you're the defender, you like to have some way in order for the attacker to get wiped out, other than the attacker's going to wipe you out. Well, usually, like 95% of the time, the attacker's going to wipe you out.
We'll just wait. That's fine. That's true,
I'll
but
try
I
not
mean,
to jump
if
in my mouth too
you know
much.
what, the attacker sure decides who to attack. But the fact is, if one defender survives, they have to go back there. They don't take the spot.
So the defender just has to survive the battle. They don't have to defeat the opponent.
There's been
a
lot of cases where I haven't been able to defeat Jason, and he's taking over my spot. I'm trying to. I have a swarm of battle cruisers.
A Mutalist kill the battle cruiser. Heck yeah!
How that happened, I'll never know.
Okay, but that's different topic.
But yeah. So I mean, go ahead. You can explain.
Well, no, and I appreciate that about defense. There are some things about the defense I like, but I think there's more that could be desired to your defense.
Maybe a little bit more special abilities.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's possible.
There are some when you're defending your base. Like you get the shield battery.
I get my
Protoss.
bunker.
I have like sunken colonies. You have the bunkers. But the reason I like the fact that the weakened defense is I love games that are aggressive. I hate games where you just sit there and build and build and build. And even in StarCraft, you really can't do that. You could, at some point in the StarCraft computer game, you have to become aggressive and swarm the enemy. Because if you just sit there and try to build and build and build, and the opponent outbuilds you, you're going to get destroyed. So, I love games that require you to be aggressive. Not the fact that I'm the Zerg and Zerg are aggressive. But that's a disclaimer. So what do you think, Cal?
No, so overall the defense, sure was, I think, made they did, I think, the defense too strong on some, and then too weak on others. But overall,
Battlecruiser.
Yeah, I don't understand how the battlecruiser got killed by mutants. But overall though, they did a pretty good job of keeping it how the units would be actually affected by these attacks. As we played in StarCraft, that's how I'm sure you see it.
And the other reference I want to make, like the whole strong defensive thing, like the first version of our alternate mech warrior rules, where we had double the range. Eventually, it became a very defensive game where we literally just had lines of tanks sitting just outside each of the range. That's all the game was for 2 hours. These two tanks sitting just barely outside each of the range to attack. And so, if you have very strong defensive stuff, we have no really incentive to be aggressive. The game just grinds to a halt, and it's not very fun.
In the last 5 seconds, I want to say that as far as the aggressiveness goes, I don't mind the aggressiveness. Mm-hmm. I'd like to have something to where it holds your aggressiveness at bay, to where you're just not totally thinking, I'm going to annihilate this ship. Something strategically, defensively that you can do that makes your aggressor think about, okay, how am I going to go about doing this?
That can be units, but we're out of time.
It could be units, or it could be cards like the retreat.
Yes, so we're out of time now. So
okay, so
next topic, Cal, your turn.
I would like to go with
mine.
The resources.
Okay.
And I want how that is a good idea. I think
like
it's a sweet.
Like it?
I love the resources. How it forces you to be strategic about it. How you have to mine them.
Let me get my point in first, yeah.
Oh, of course.
So sweet, I agree with them. I love them.
I agree too.
I'm sorry, I've been starting already.
Go ahead.
Because I really like it.